Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be listening to Defeated Sanity's brand new album, Chronicles of Lunacy, which was just released this month, November of 2024. I'm so freaking excited about this record. If you are not familiar with Defeated Sanity, they are a brutal technical death metal band which began in 1993. They started in Berlin, Germany, but then they moved to the US later in their career. This record, Chronicles of Lunacy, is 8 songs coming in at 33.5 minutes, and it is supposed to just literally be the sonic similar experience of like smashing your face against the wall. Think of like Nicolas Cage in Long Legs. It's kind of like that, but like an audible experience. This will be their 6th studio album released under Season of Mist Records. I do have experience with Defeated Sanity. The most recent record I listened to was like a year or so ago, and it was their 4th album, Passages into Deformity, which I will be honest was like one of my first technical brutal death metal bands ever, and that album was so aggressive and so overwhelming for like my like newbie metal ears that it was literally the most intense album I had listened to at the point of my metal journey. So that being said, I do have more experience now with a lot of grindcore, BDM, gore grind, stuff like that. I've been listening to a lot of Japanese like hardcore crossover thrash. So, you know, we're going to see how aggressive this album is. So if you do not know Defeated Sanity, if you're a fan of Cannibal Corpse, immolation, suffocation, or devourment, you would probably like this band. I highly encourage you to give them a shot because Defeated Sanity is really freaking aggressive and they always bring the power. So we are going to be listening to them. This band consists of 4 members. They're led by their drummer, Lyle Gruber, who's the son of deceased co-founding member Wolfgang Tesk. Gruber is joined by bandmates Jacob Schmidt on bass, Josh Welshman on vocals, and Vaughn Staffy on guitar. Josh Welshman states that each song off of Chronicles of Lunacy deals with a different form of mental corruption. So, for example, the song Odor is about religious fanaticism. A Patriarchy Perverse is about the co-ed killer Ed Kemper, which if you're not familiar who that is, he is basically an American serial killer that was convicted of murdering 7 women and 1 actual like minor girl. Between May 1972 and April 1973. He also murked his grandparents years prior to that at the age of 15. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm interested to hear that song. And then their track Extrinsically Enraged? Girl, I can't even pronounce that. Extrinsically Enraged. I can't pronounce things, Defeated Sanity. That is a hard extrinsically enraged. It's about contracting rabies. That's all you really got to know. I will also have links down below where you can purchase the physical format of this record for all of my vinyl lovers. This record is being released in 3 different colorways. So if you're liking the sound of today's record, definitely go and show some support. Drop down to those links and see about maybe purchasing one of them. So without further ado, we're going to get into Chronicles of Lunacy. We're going to start off with the very first song, which is going to be Amputation's Drang. Am I going to have trouble pronouncing some of these? Okay, no, it's looking like it's going to be fairly easy. I don't know what an amputation's drang is, but it sounds interesting, so let's go. Okay, girl. Ooh. Okay, girl, wait. Hold on. Oh, it is fire. That slaps. God, the bass, girl. It really is so jazzy. That is like one of the most interesting parts of their sound. It's really reminding me a lot of, I think it's Atheist. I have not really listened to anything from Atheist. I am about to do a dive for them on my Patreon, but it's reminding me of that. Jazzy, and it is like Atheist, but it's obviously like more brutal. I love the bass, that little like breakdown section that they had. Bestie, that will sound absolutely fire live. Absolutely fire live. We're talking about something a little freaky. Eroticism nurtured through congruous bodily contours. Apparition and inevitable deviation from the spectrum. Let's see. What else we got? I succumb to this tortured, crippling desire, orgasmic transfiguration, autoerotic adoration, bars, as I gaze upon my newly won stumps. Bro, are you getting your... Are you chopping off your arms and being like, huzzah? Agonizing ordeal to end my able-bodied misery. Bro, we're actually talking about just like chopping off our own body parts, aren't we? Amputation is in the title. Amputation's drang. What is a drang? Through severance, I savor my final moments, wallowing enraptured in somatic autonomy. Amputation's drang sounds like we're like... we're interested or being forced to like amputate something, or we obviously really want to do it, but we're also like, ugh. Like it's almost like a chore. Like, I really want to do it, but God, it's like buying a concert ticket, but you're like chopping off a limb, right? Right? It's the same thing. Absolute fire song. Production so far is really, really good. Drums sound amazing. We're going to get into the second track, The Odor of Sanctity, which the member Josh Welshman also stated that this song was about religious fanaticism. That's a hard word for me to say. It does come with a music video, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to listen to it. Let's go. It's so cool to see them live. Okay, girl. God, the bass, dude. That's me after Taco Bell, girl. Okay, girl. Oh, are we about to get a breakdown here? Come on, girl. Bring it home. Okay, that was a fire song. Actually a fire song. I love that they like incorporated like old Catholic, I'm assuming they're Catholic, paintings like in there. Very simple music video. Loved the like dim lighting on all of the different players. The bass is putting in work. Drums are putting in work. And it is so freaking good. Vaughn Stoffy is playing guitar like he's spreading butter. Like, did you see him? Like, he was just like, like, it literally just looked like his hand was just like gliding like up the neck. That was amazing. Okay, so let's see. This one is about, oh God, how did you describe it? I'm not even going to remember. Religious fanaticism, entranced in devout piety, blessed through Christ-like suffering. Miraculously inflicted, sacred wounds give way to light. The mystery of the cross transcending through time to bring common man into divine pain, carved in human flesh, a testament to the word of God. I feel like this is like almost like poetry. Wounds left forever agape, impervious to disease, ambrosial odors emanating, luring the masses into fervent belief. Sheep so easily deceived, eagerly seeking his omnipotence, I do like that word, upon the earth. Pios, psychosis floods the mind, yielding self-inflicted crucifixion. Okay, I see what we're talking about here. Just like spreading the word of God and believing that it's false in a way, calling people sheep. They're so easily deceived. A miracle defiled, fraudulently wrought, a mortar to none. That's actually so hard. Those last lines, those are hard. I mean, it's a great song. It really is. I very much enjoy the production of this. I love the bass. I love the drums. The instrumentation is brutal. Technical death metal by itself is something that I'm still like getting used to because I don't have a lot of experience with it. Nile is really the closest I've really gotten. I guess like Suffocation is kind of another one, but BDM is one that I have a lot more experience with. So I'm like a massive Mortician fan. I've been doing like stabbing, peeling flesh, listening to a lot of them. So mixing like the technical elements with BDM is something that I really like. Also, Josh Welshman sounds a lot like Corpse Grinder too. So it is like, you know, Corpse Grinder, Cannibal Corpse mixed with like Dying Fetus. It kind of has elements of like Mortician, but obviously Mortician is very tuned down. But it has some elements of that, which I do really like. All right. And of course, the jazzy elements makes it very atheist in a way. It just makes it its own special little thing. So we're going to keep rolling and going here. So far, it's a fire album. The next track we have is going to be track 3, Accelerating the Rot. And we do have another music video for this, which we are going to watch. So let's go ahead and listen to it. Oh, what an interesting mic you're singing into. Oh, I like this though. Give me more of that bass, girl. Telling you. Come on, Vaughn. What the hell is happening? I don't know, but I like it. Girl.
Someday a roll rain will come and wash all the scum off the streets.
Ooh, okay. So that sample is like actually hard. That is amazing. Okay, hold on. Girl. Also, okay, Lyle. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Are you just like not exhausted after a show? Like, are you just not absolutely exhausted after a show? Because that looks like hard work. That absolutely looks like hard work. All of y'all are putting in like so much. I have never seen so much string diddling in my entire life. Like, y'all were doing this thing. This. You were doing that. How do you do that? Me and my like 6 little basic major chords on an acoustic guitar can't comprehend all of the technical shit that you just did in that song. That was so cool to see. I bet y'all are absolutely exhausted. Absolutely exhausted after a show. I know I would be. Okay? Girl. So talented.
Wash all the scum off the streets.
Something, wash all the scum off the streets is what that was. Wash all the scum off the streets. And then you let it ring out and repeat a little bit. Reminds me of some of the samples that were used in Last Days of Humanity's debut. That's an intense record. Really like that one too. All right. What are we talking about? And accelerating the rot. So, depopulate our precious space of virulent and rancid filth, offering society nothing more than revulsion. By blade dispensed my self-imposed vocation, bars, to extinguish pre-desecrated beings. Ooh, are we talking about, also referencing the sample, wiping off the scum of the street, I guess is what he's saying. Something about getting rid of the scum off the streets, right? So, this could be just like people that are sick and like zombies on the street, maybe. One by one, I decimate the miasmic masses, stooped and slumped in the dark, excrement made flesh, living decomposition brought by infection and inhalation, every dose an artificial revival of vitality. Chemical inclination lethally utilized, a fatal addition to the formula, their noxious supply I infiltrate. Suspended between life and death, their self-inflicted decay I accelerate. Bro, actual bars. A toxic Armageddon I initiate. Bro, that is fire. Their noxious supply I infiltrate. I am the one that knocks. I am the law. That's that kind of vibe, bro. Suspended between life and death, their self-inflicted decay I accelerate. A toxic Armageddon I initiate. Bro. I am the law. This literally just like dread in a song. Back on topic. Stop distracting me. The next song we're going to get into is going to be track 4, Temporal Disintegration. So let's get into it. Ooh, almost have a different drum tone. A little bit. In a constant breakdown here. That is massive in sound. Oh my god. Bars. Spread that butter, Vaughn. I'm overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Let me just break for like a jazz interlude. After all that. Oh. I was wondering if y'all were gonna soft fade this song, and I'm so happy you did. That is a good ass fade. That is a good ass fade. I talk a lot about fades on my channel in some of these albums because they're not placed right. Don't ever fade the first song on your album. In my opinion, it's a bad place to fade. That was a great fade. You know, some of the songs, like some of the little interludes, like this one. Oh, ow. It's not, I just hit my funny bone, girl. It's not an interlude, but it's just kind of like this little synth sound that you layered while it was fading. It's very spacey. It's reminding me a lot of Death Atlas from Cattle Decapitation, just in the atmosphere. Absolutely, this song is probably one of my favorites. What the hell did we just listen to? Oh my god, that is like, look, it is almost the longest song on the album. 5 minutes, 52 seconds. Bro, that is just one long breakdown sandwich, okay? And Vaughn is just spreading butter on the bread the entire time. Y'all are just breaking this shit down the entire time. And I love how you kind of pick up the pace towards the end in like I don't know if is it this like the fourth or fifth verse you have, cutting open the soulless vessels. This whole section, their death brings my liberations a little bit faster than the breakdown that we had. Unnatural gazes shrouded in secrecy, distrust and gnawing at my instincts, bars, villainous entities conspiring against me, deceiving their way into my good graces, like actual bars. Whole time you are breaking that thing down like a mortician style breakdown. It is absolutely fire, and the bass is filling up so much space that it sounds absolutely massive in my headphones right now, and I bet you live that slaps. And I love how, Vaughn, your guitars are just holding out these notes, and it's just creating so much space for the drums to just like kind of just keep doing their little jazzy diddly thing. So nice. Also love that Lyle's just kind of, it almost sounds like wind chimes. Just like little flares here and there. And then you just break it down into this jazzy section at the end. Let's go. Track number 5, Extrinsically Enraged. Playing with the little cymbal. Love the fade up there. Symbols putting in some work. my gosh, wait, that's the end? I wasn't even ready for that. I was not ready for the end. Okay, that was Extrinsically Enraged. So even though I said I haven't really listened to technical, brutal death metal, I have seen Suffocation live. Now, admittedly, I really haven't listened to much from Suffocation. I think I listened to a few songs from them, but it's been a while. They absolutely slapped live. But now that I'm remembering their live sound, I'm getting a lot of that in Defeated Sanity's music right now. And I know that, like, there's people that say Suffocation's like one of the first, like, quote, slam bands. Even though they're labeled as technical brutal death, I feel like I'm kind of getting some slam vibes a little bit with this. I mean, Devourment is slam. We did just recently listen to one of their albums, the one with the person's head off their body, that one. We listened to that on my Patreon, and that was definitely a cool experience. Slam is an interesting one. And so I am getting some of those vibes. I see the full picture now. That Josh Welshman, his voice reminds me a lot, obviously, of Corpse Grinder, but it's reminding me a little bit of Chris Barnes' early Cannibal Corpse stuff. Not the new 6 Feet Under. No. It takes a special... and I respect 6 Feet Under. That was 17 hours of music I had to listen through, okay? So, they're not as awful as people say. But no, I am not saying, Josh, that you have 6 Feet Under Chris Barnes vocals. You have, like, the best of what Chris Barnes vocals used to be. Like Butchered at Birth, Eaten Back to Life, like that kind of death metal sound mixed with like the best of Corpse Grinder. That's the vibe. So I forgot to mention before we listen to this that this track Extrinsically Enraged is also about contracting rabies. So I've never had rabies, never met an animal or another person that's had rabies, but I basically know the story of Cujo. So going into this, bestial aggression as canines tear through human flesh, unwavering in a ferocity foreign to its nature. Frothing contagion spills forth from the mouth. Human articulation gives way to guttural eruptions, compulsively lashing out in utter bewilderment. Again, great rhyming, great bars, very poetic. Let's see what they bring to the table with this crazy ass serial killer. And let's go. A patriarchy perverse. That line's in quotations. Bars. Oh my god, is that him? Ew! Nice. Does this go into the next song? It does. Okay, we're gonna listen to the next song, Condemned to Vascular Famine. It goes into it. Love that. Love that. Perfect. Very disorienting. I like it. How are you doing that? You're making me want to drink some tea right now, girl. What is that from? What movie is that from? Ooh. Love the vibes change. Hey, dying fetus. Fade this one too. Absolutely fire song. Are you about to bring this into Hereditary Violated? Is that a keytar? This is Death Atlas, girl. Hereditary Violated. Fading up into it. Freaking genius. Love it. Oh my god. Splash cymbals. What is happening? Lyle, my guy. And you fucking fade. Thank you. I knew you would. I knew you would. Defeated Sanity. Perfect album. Perfect album. You ever want to know how to do a perfect album? This is a perfect album. I was going to share my thoughts after A Patriarchy Perverse, but y'all kept the songs running into each other. And what I love is you didn't do that in the first half. So it's almost like a little Easter egg. And as I said, those little instrumentals you're doing, it's so Death Atlas in terms of atmosphere. It's very cold and futuristic. If you remember the overall vibe of Death Atlas, granted, it felt very spacey in a way, and this kind of has that spacey vibe, but it's more in like a Dread sort of way, or maybe like a Terminator kind of vibe, very end of the world in a city, dark and dank, that kind of vibe. And I absolutely love it. I love that you ran each of these last 3 songs into each other, especially because you do not expect it. And that is what I absolutely love. This album is flawless in terms of layout. You fade on the 4. Oh my God, wait, that's the layout, isn't it? No, that's not. Okay. I thought that because I know you fade on track 4, Temporal Disintegration. The song ends normally for track 5, Extrinsically Enraged, and then you bring in those little interludes that kind of run into each other. So I love it. I mean, layout wise, it's perfect. It's paced very well. And I can't even describe to you how brutal some of these songs are. Total Dying Fetus vibes all over track 8, Hereditary Violated. That's the one we just listened to. Dying Fetus all over that. The best of what Dying Fetus and John Gallagher especially does. I mean, that is all over that. And then Condemned to Vascular Famine is like the best of Suffocation and Dying Fetus. You really get a lot of that slam type of vibe mixed with that Dying Fetus kind of BDM style. I just love the drums. I'm obsessed with the tone of Lyle's drums. And honestly, Josh, I don't know how you're doing those vocals, because it makes me want to like drink my throat coat tea. I mean, I sing Southern rock, so it ain't even in the same ballpark in terms of genre, but okay, I like your vocals, man. They are so gutturally and just like warbly. It reminds me so much of Hans from like Last Days of Humanity. Definitely, like I said, Corpse Grinder, early Chris Barnes. You could put John Gallagher a little bit there, but you're not reaching the highs, which is not a bad thing. Like, it's like your voice is more, for this record in particular, you're staying in this low pocket, which I love still. Fantastic. So Patriarchy Perverse is about that serial killer, Mr. Ed Kemper. And interestingly, so that song reminds me so much of, I think, I'm just going based off of memory here, I think it's Addicted to Vaginal Skin, and I believe that's on Tomb of the Mutilated, early Chris Barnes, because obviously that one is about Ed Gein. Both Ed serial killers. Maybe there's a thing with Eds specifically being serial killers, but it kind of reminds me of the same thing, because in the beginning of that song, it's like, I cut her, essentially the sample is like, I cut her cooter off and I ate it with a side of fava beans. Sorry, off topic. This is the same vibe and tone. Talking about a serial killer, and then you used a sample I forget exactly what the sample said, but it was something along the lines of like, I wanted to taste this woman or keep her forever or something creepy. That kind of homage. It's kind of, I mean, I don't think it's directly paying homage to that, like on a purpose level. I think it's just the same vibe, but I love that. It's like we're talking about stuff, but what's interesting is we're talking about like the thought of being a serial killer and like the feelings of it, which is very interesting in comparison to cannibals, you know, addicted to vaginal flesh or skin, I think is what it is. I think it's skin. That's more, you know, about being a serial killer and doing the acts of being a serial killer, right? So we're talking a lot about like it's kind of horror movies essentially. So where one is about the acts of being a serial killer, yours is about the thoughts and the feelings and less about like, I am doing this or I take an axe and I do this, which I do like. I like both sides of the coin. So I really enjoyed that. Condemned to Vascular Famine is the longest song in the album, so it's very similar to Temporal Disintegration because although, yes, you're a technical death metal band, so obviously you're switching around a lot of things. You do have these little pockets, so you have these kind of BDM pockets, and then you have some of these slam pockets. You really got that with I think it was Temporal Disintegration. You had a massive, I mean, that whole song was just like straight BDM, you know, and it was just like super low and slow. And then you had the best of slam and the best of that Dying Fetus BDM for Condemned to Vascular Famine, and it's in these little pockets. So it's almost like, you know, verse 1 is this aggressive technical BDM, then it's in this slam pocket in the middle of the song, and then it goes back to this like super jazzy BDM. It's jazzy all over this. Hereditary Violated, fire song, absolutely fire song. Love that you chose to fade it. That's perfect. Layout wise, this is a perfect album. The production is amazing. I mean, y'all are just incredibly talented, honestly. I mean, Lyle, bro, your drum kit sounds amazing, especially in Condemned to Vascular Famine. I could hear your drums in that like studio space, which I love. I always love being able to hear like the actual space that the drums are being recorded in. That sounds like, wait, what do you mean, Kaiya? But if you've been in a studio and you've recorded and you actually like track drums and stuff like that in a proper studio, you would know. I just love it. I love it a lot. And it's super good. Jacob Schmidt also carrying the bass, bro. You're doing so much work with that bass, and I love that y'all chose to really let the bass and the drums have their moments too, because so many bands just kind of forget. I say it all the time, but I love bass and I love drums, and I want more bands to highlight those instruments and those musicians more and give them more bass solos, more drum solos. So y'all really, really let the bass and the drums have their moments, and it's heavy and it's brutal, and I love all of the little like they're almost like, I could tell you had a lot of fun doing this record, because there is one section, I believe it's in track 7, Condemned to Vascular. Is it that one? No, it's Hereditary Violated. I can tell you had a lot of fun tracking this record, because for the line In Deep Bliss, I bear within my new life. So you do in deep, and then there's like this pause, and then Lyle does this little like like little like cymbal frill, That's almost like a little sprinkle. And then you repeat the line and get back into the music, in deep bliss. And then you keep going with the rest of this verse. I thought that was super playful and very fun. Also, a technical element, kind of jazzy. I mean, it's just playful in the best way possible. And I absolutely love it. So production wise, mixing wise, instrumentally, y'all are extremely talented. This album is very well mixed, very well produced. It's aggressive, it's heavy, it's brutal, and it does have an atmosphere. Layout wise, as I said, is perfect. So I'm so incredibly happy that we were able to listen to this together. I want to hear your thoughts down below. What did you think about Chronicles of Lunacy from Defeated Sanity? Did you enjoy it? Were there any tracks that really stood out to you? And are you going to purchase the album, whether it's digitally or physically? I think I'm going to have to purchase this on vinyl. Like, I'm being so for serious. Look out for maybe another little segment on my stream or my channel where I actually show off the vinyl. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to support Defeated Sanity, I will have links down below in my description where you can purchase the album, whether it's digital or physical. You can also check out any merch that you want or see if they're touring in a city near you. So congratulations, Defeated Sanity, on your 6th studio album. I'm very proud of your work. I'm very happy for you. I wish you nothing but success. And that's my dog. And yeah, I will see you later, okay? Bye, guys.